in order to find an equation of a line. Finding an equation of a line. One method is to use the point slope formula. And what the point slope formula is, kind of like it sounds, as long as you have a point and the slope, you can find the equation. So it's y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. So the things we're going to plug in are the slope and the point, x1, y1, and we're just going to leave x and y so that then we have an x and y in our equation. So let's say, for example, we want to find the equation of a line. Find the equation of a line with slope 2/3 and through the point -3, -1. Okay. Now, we don't have to do this, but I always like to sketch a really quick graph to see if my answer makes sense when I get it. So if I go -3, -1, and then I go up 2 over 3, something like, it should look pretty gradual. Again, it's usually, could be just a rough sketch. But I can kind of look and see that, well, it looks like my y-intercept should end up being somewhere around 1 or 2. So if I plug the things I know into my equation, 2/3 is my m, -3 is my x1, -1 is my y1. So y minus -1 equals 2/3 x minus -3. So I've got some signs to deal with here. Minus -1 becomes a +1. 2/3. And I'm going to distribute at the same time. So 2/3 x. It'll become a +3. 2/3 times 3 would be 2. So that would be 2. And this is going to be a +2. And then I usually go one more step because a lot of times I want to have my answer in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to subtract 1 so that I have y alone, and I get y equals 2/3 x plus 1. Okay. And then looking at my sketch, that makes sense that my y-intercept is 1, slope of 2/3. Okay, let's do another one. How about this one? Find the equation of a line. Find the equation of the line through 1, 4 and 3, -2. So this one's a little different because now I'm given 2 points. So before I find my equation of my line, I'm going to have to find my slope because I don't know my slope yet. So if this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. So this is my slope. Leave a little more room. -2 minus 4, y2 minus y1, over x2 minus x1, 3 minus 1. So -6 over 2, which is -3. So now I have my slope of -3. And let's do that sketch I had talked about before too to see if it makes sense that I have a slope of -3. 1, 4, and 3, -2. That does look pretty steep, and it's decreasing, so it should be a negative slope. So this -3 makes sense for my slope. Okay, so now when I use my point slope formula, y minus y1, I'm going to use that 1, 4. I really could use either point now though, but since the 1, 4 doesn't have any negatives and I already have it labeled as x1, y1, I'm going to use that one. So y minus 4 equals -3 x minus 1. So when I distribute -3x plus 3, add 4 to both sides, and I get y equals -3x plus 7. And looking at my graph, that does make sense that I have a pretty high y-intercept for this example.